There we go with the Yanks. Cheers.
Did he do it? Okay. What's going on, football fans? And welcome to another exciting edition of Thursday Night Gridiron here on the Sports Insanity Network. I'm Bill Murphy. Joining with me today is Brian Murphy. Brian, what's up, bud?
Bill, what's up, man? How we doing?
I'm doing well. How are you? Okay, so before anybody has any questions, same name. Yes, we're related. He's my cousin. Now that we got that out of the way, let's move on. So, yeah, exciting week in week two. What did you think?
That was wild stuff, man. That was
absolutely...
as a Jets fan, that was fun.
You guys actually won a game.
I know. I got this. I yelled in happiness in my house for them for the first time. I think it was the first time I let out a yell like that since they blew the Oakland Hail Mary one when they beat them, because at that time we were going for like to lose every game to get the number one pick. So I haven't felt jubilation like that in quite some time for this team.
And the Giants are 2-0, so we're both in good.
Big Monday night coming up.
Mark, if you're watching this, I know you're going to be texting me if the Cowboys win. So I'm going to watch my step.
That's exciting. No, that's going to be prime time Monday night at the Meadowlands. That place is going to be rocking.
Yeah. Well, and it's a whiteout too.
Oh, they're going to go the white old jerseys with the blue
old jerseys.
Ooh, Saquon. That's good. I like that.
Yeah. Okay, so but that's neither here nor there. Tonight we're here to focus on the Thursday night game. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns.
Let me just go on a record, by the way. This game stinks.
I'm gonna dude, I am going to double confirm that with you. Do you guys really want to listen to us talk about this game? We can just sit here BS for the next hour if you want that. I'm
in like a pool with my wife's family. We you pick every game, no spread, just straight up. And you do Thursday night too. And it's just like I have to text in the group chat. I'm like, who do you want? I'm like, I don't care. I'm not watching. I told them. I'm like, I wrote Judge is what I wrote. There's more important things.
That's what you're focused on right now. Is Aaron Judge?
A crappy, mediocre Thursday night football game of.
The game's not going to get any ratings anyway, so
it's got no. It's going to get ratings, but it's got no juice. Gamblers care.
Unless you live in the Pennsylvania or Cleveland area, nobody really cares.
I doubt they're even pumped. I mean, how pumped are Browns fans? I'm like, come on, Jacoby Brissett. Does that get you going?
Well, they had some hope, and then they browned it up.
Oh, I mean, like even Jets fans too. Like, we're excited. It's fun, but I mean, we're also realistic. Some of us. Like what?
So
what do we expect?
So let's get on to the game before I get a text from either Lawrence Patchman-Lang or Mike Rifkin telling me to get on with it. Okay. So recap of the first two games. Steelers beat the Bengals 23-20 in week one in overtime. And the Browns beat the Panthers 26-24, also in week one, squashing Baker's return. In week,
I had a feeling that was going to happen. Honestly, I didn't think Baker was going to be able to show up.
That Baker's party was going to be that Baker's party.
Story of his life, or story of his professional career.
I was rooting for Baker Mayfield because, in all honesty, I kind of feel bad that he got screwed over.
I don't think he got screwed over. Look, I mean, it's a lot of these guys who get drafted high, you're getting drafted high because you're going to a team that's bad. So it's like, he went, he was the third overall pick in that. No, he went one. I'm sorry, he was one because Darnold went 3. I was confusing him with Trevor Lawrence. That was the next year. He went one. He was number 1 overall pick. So I mean, what does he expect? It's like you're going to go to the, they're already set New England Patriots. You're going to go to a shitty team because that's the reason why they have the number one pick.
Yeah, absolutely. Because they're a crappy team. And
it's a crapshoot.
And therefore, you're going to get a higher draft pick. So, recapping last week for both teams, the Steelers last week losing to the Patriots 17-14. Mitch Trubisky threw 21 out of 33 with 168 yards, 5.1, 1 TD, and 1 interception with 3 sacks. I know. With 3 sacks, 35.3 QBR, and 73.8 RTG.
Say that again? RTG?
RTG, 73.8.
Oh, his rating. What does RTG rating mean? I mean, that's Mitch Trubisky. What do you expect?
And last week, the Cleveland Browns losing to your beloved New York Jets.
Joe Flacco looking like Joe Montana back there.
Yeah, Flacco looking...
Lacing him up.
You know, I got to say this from a Jet perspective. When I was actually at the Giant game on Sunday, Brian.
I was supposed to be there too.
We'll talk about that off air. But yeah, but when people were walking out, they had how they have like TVs at MetLife near the rows.
Yeah.
Everybody was like watching the Jet game. And they were cheering when the Jets won. So
you want New York to be good. Like, New York fans, you want there to be a buzz. Like right now, like this past week has been very nice for New York. Giants, Jets, great comeback. Giants are 2-0. Aaron Judge is killing the ball. The Mets are red hot. Both baseball teams are going to be right into the playoffs. Hopefully the Yankees get hot too, and they can, carry momentum in like the Mets are.
Like this past weekend, man. It's fun. This past Sunday, as you probably knew this, Brian, but this was the first time in 13 years that the Jets, Giants, Yankees, and Mets all won on the same day.
All right.
Yeah. So anyway, getting back to last week's game with the Browns, Jacoby Brissett threw 22 out of 27 attempts, 229 yards, 8.5 average, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. One was sacked once, 77 QBR, and 98.9 rated.
That's not bad. I mean,
3 touchdowns from Nick Chubb, 17 carries, 87 yards, and 5.1 yards. And 1 touchdown from Amari Cooper.
See, the thing is, too, right, is that, it's week 2. Or not, it's week 3 now, but week 2. You still don't know who these teams are yet. The Jets' pass defense looks worse than it did last year, and they were historically bad last year. So I don't know what Sal is doing. I mean, I know Sauce is young, and they got DJ Reed from Seattle, and they have players. They have Jordan Whitehead in the defensive backfield too. But week 2, I can't take these numbers, regardless of whether it's Jacoby Brissett or it's Patrick Mahomes or whoever. It's just it's week 2. Talk to me if they're still giving up these kind of stats in week 10 or 8 or 9. Then
we talk. Then we can have a conversation.
The trend. First couple of weeks are always tough to judge, except if you're Buffalo or Kansas City. I mean,
it's Jacoby Brissett, so
or Miami apparently now.
Miami, I bet that hurt as a Jet fan, didn't it?
Look, you gotta root for Tua though. You do, because everybody has been dogging this guy for 2 years now that he can't throw a ball, that he can't throw the ball deep, and he's lighting this league up right now in passing. You think he leads the league in passing yards right now, which is just comical.
Oh, absolutely! Like, who would thought the Miami Dolphins and Tua would be hot this year?
I thought they would have won 8. They'd be like an 8 or 9 win team. I mean, they look great. Their offense looks awesome. Gesicki, a tight end, good running backs as long as they stay healthy, and if they could protect Tua, man, Waddle and Hill, man, it might be the best 1-2 punch in the league.
And Tyreek's on one of my fantasy teams, so
he's unbelievable. I thought he was gonna take a little step. He's been playing better. I mean, again, week 2, but
yeah, because this past week because I have Tyreek as one of my wide receivers, and I have Lamar as my quarterback in one of my leagues. So that was a good week for me. It was a good week for me, Brian. So
Lamar's fun to watch, man. Contract year. This guy's training. He's doing what Judge is doing right now in these contract years. Just having, pay me as much money as you humanly can possibly can.
Exactly. Just pay me as much as you can.
He's gonna get a boatload too. That's gonna be wild. I want to see. I mean, I would love to see who gets more. I think Judge will get more, but Judge or Lamar Jackson, their contract years this offseason.
That'd be a fun thing to watch. Judge or Lamar, who gets more?
Let's make a bet. Ready? Do you think both of them will be on different teams when they sign their new deal?
I'm gonna say no.
Do you think they're both on the same team, or you think one is somewhere else and one stays? Not saying who.
I think one of them might leave, but I don't know. That's a tough bet.
Can I say it?
Sure. Ready? Go ahead.
I think Lamar stays. I think Judge walks. I think Judge is a giant, or, dare I say he's a New York Met.
Tell that to my good friend Mark Halpern, who's a huge Met fan. He'd be doing cartwheels if he found that out.
Steve Cohen's pockets are very deep, as we all know, but you can't write them off yet. Yeah. But I think San Francisco's a legitimate shout, though.
Yeah, but we're not here to talk baseball. We're not here to talk baseball.
I know. You can't help it with the time with what's going on right now. It's exciting, man.
Guys, I just want to let the audience know this is like regular conversation for us when we're at family gatherings. Isn't that right, Brian?
Yeah, this is what me and my friends talk about. This is it's natural. How do you not talk about it though?
I know, right? It's like you just get into the groove of it. Yeah, it's like you just get into the groove of it. It's like, what? Part of me just wants to take the docket, rip it up, and say, let's just BS for the next hour. But we got stuff to talk about.
Kansas City and Buffalo were playing tonight. It would be a little bit of a different conversation, I think, instead of the middling Browns and the mediocre Steelers.
We're basically stalling right now, aren't we?
No, look, right? If you go ahead. You want to dive into this game? We could break it down. I'll break it down.
Yeah, we'll break it down, and then maybe we'll talk about something more interesting. Who knows? Okay, so now we got to go to last year's games. Yeah, we got to go back a year. Okay, we got to go back a year.
The goal tonight, though, is ready. If you want me to do something real fast, ready? So going into tonight's game, ready? Cleveland's a 4.5-point favorite. So
Cleveland's 4.5.
When you play at home, usually you have like that 3-point advantage for the home team. Yeah. So like if the spread is like, if Cleveland's favored by 3, that means it's kind of an even game according to Vegas, saying that it's even basically. It's not really gonna be like an even spread. They don't really do that anymore. But if it's minus 4.5, that means that Vegas and the bettors think that Cleveland's gonna win this game outright. Yeah, now better running game. Maybe better defense, maybe.
I heard the over/under is like 39.
It's 38 right now.
38, yeah, because my brother was just saying it was 39.
Yeah, that's really, really exciting stuff here.
Yeah. Okay, so breakdown from last year's games. Yes, we have to do this. Ben Roethlisberger, 22 out of 34, 266 yards, 7.8 average, 1 touchdown, 2 sacks, 53.9 QBR, 98.4 rating. And also, Chris Boswell he's a kicker, and I guess he got a pass on yard. 0 out of 1 attempt, 39.6 rating. Yeah.
Botched field goal attempt, I'm guessing.
Yeah, probably.
Do you have the lines from last year's games in front of you? How many turnovers? Okay. Like how many picks did Big Ben throw? How about that?
0.
What about Baker? Because Baker was the quarterback last year.
0.
Really?
Yeah.
That's for both games?
That is for both games. That's for last year's game, which was on October 31st, 2021.
Well, okay. Because it's a division. They play twice.
Yeah. Najee Harris was 26 carries, 91 yards, 3.5 average, and 1 touchdown. And for receiving, Pat Frymouth.
Fired me.
What was that?
The tight end. Fired
Tight
me.
end. 4 receptions, 44 yards, 1 touchdown. And there was 1 fumble, but 2 fumble recoveries from J.J. Watt and Justin Lane.
TJ, yeah. So he's out. I forgot, actually. So he's done. He's not playing tonight. Now you know what? Maybe advantage Browns.
And
Fitzpatrick, got to give him the shout out, by the way. Old Bridge guy from my town, where I went to high school, from Old Bridge. He's killing it this year. Stud, played for state. He's a safety for the Steelers, Mika Fitzpatrick. Played for Saban in Alabama. He's got 2 picks already this year. I think he had a pick 6 in week 1. Stud. Hometown guy. Got to give him got to show some love here for him.
So he's a Jersey guy.
He's from my town. He didn't go to the same high school as me, but he's from Old Bridge, New Jersey. So recruited to Alabama, played for Nick Saban, playing for he's been a stud his whole career. I think he's been in the league for a couple of years. He's been really good. So got to give him a shout out because he's on fire right now.
Yeah. So Baker, last year he threw 20 out of 31, 225 yards, 7.3 average, 0 touchdowns, 0 INT, sacked 4 times, 62.4 QBR, 86.1 rating, and also got a Cleveland touchdown from Dearness Johnson, 4 carries, 22 yards, 5.5 average, 1 touchdown. From receiving, no receiving touchdowns, and that was the game from. That was October 31st, 2021. Like, Brian, I remember you told me last Halloween was on a Sunday during football season. You were with your wife and your daughter going trick-or-treating. You were with one of your buddies, and you tell the story. You're better at it than me. I don't want to sit here and biograph your life here.
Well, Halloween last year was on a Sunday. So, in my neighborhood, my daughter was 2 at the time. So you do Halloween trick-or-treating during the day. So, Sunday, Halloween. NFL's in week 7 or week 8 or whatever. So we're walking around with our phones, red zone on the phone, and watching, sipping some high noons and watching the game and casually getting drunk at the same time.
So you're like,
great.
Yeah, they go to that house.
I mean, look, it was her first Halloween. So obviously I was aware of the first couple of houses, and you hit every house. So it's like.
The first couple houses you're aware, and then after that you're just
fantasy football's going. I got a couple of parlays at the same time, a couple of bets. You got to make sure things are in line here for the 1 o'clock slate. A lot of games going on, a lot of action. So it's just walking around with your phone. Thank God it's on a Monday this year, so we get the next day. I don't have to do that again.
Well, we got Monday Night Football.
Well, I mean, she'll be done trick or treating at that time. She'll be 3. And if anyone knocks on my door, they're not. I'm not handing out, candy after kickoff.
Just put a basket that says, "I'm watching Monday Night Football. Help yourself."
Well, I hate to keep bringing it up, but I know we're talking football here, but that's Halloween. I really hope we're watching Yankee playoff baseball at that time.
I hope so too.
Forget about Monday Night Football. If they're deep, that's ALCS, potentially World Series time. So I don't care who knocks on my door.
So you should just put aside, leave me alone. I'm busy.
Margot Robbie will get the door open for her.
I hope so.
That's about it.
Okay. Anyway, so the second game was on January 3rd of 2022.
It was the last game.
Yeah, that was the last game. It was the Steelers ended up winning the game 26-14. And the box score, Baker threw for.
How many times?
Sorry,
I just wanted to check and see how many times was Big Ben sacked in that game.
I'll get to him when I get to him.
Because that was still Garrett and Clowney wasn't there yet, but Garrett.
Baker, 16 out of 38, 185 yards, 4.9 average, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and Baker was sacked 9 times.
In one game?
In one game, 9-46. 53,
Wow.
19.5 QBR, 53.1 RTG.
No wonder why he's on Carolina now. That makes sense.
God bless the Carolina Panthers.
Let me just go on record, by the way, and let me state real quick that, again, I hate to keep bringing it up, but Alex Cora is a pussy.
Okay.
Flat out. Just walk Judge on 4 pitches to lead off the game. Red Sox are out of it. I don't think Judge is going to see anything to hit in the series. And you know what? That's when you bring in Chapman and you throw 101 and you tune Bogarts right up at the chin. That's a soft move right there. Nothing was close. That bothers me.
Are you going to be getting a text from your brother-in-law soon about that?
It's funny. He's actually, so for the people who don't know, my brother-in-law, my wife's family's from Western, New England, Western Mass. Huge Red Sox fans. He's been living in New York because he's working at the hotel in the city, and he asked me for Yankee tickets. I said, absolutely not. I don't want you anywhere near the stadium while this guy is going for a run. I don't care that they're even playing the Red Sox. I want you nowhere near there. I want you to sit, watch on TV your pathetic team that you have up in Boston, and watch my boy Aaron take, your pitchers deep 4 times in the series.
He's
not going
like
to happen now.
He's like Bizarro you, because you're Yankees, Jets, Rangers, Knicks. He's Red Sox, Patriots, Celtics, Bruins, right?
Oh, always makes it fun whenever we get together because he's
like Bizarro. He's like Bizarro you.
He is. It's exactly. It's the complete opposite to me.
Yeah.
And now I'm happy that the Patriots, stink.
So I bet those family gatherings are a blast.
It's all well and good.
Yeah. So David Nachugo, 4 receptions, 28 yards, 1 touchdown, 9 long. And Harrison Bryant, 1 reception, 1 yard, 1 TD, 1 long, 1 target. And
what did Donovan Peoples-Jones do? Is he on that list for receivers at all in that last game? Because he was probably playing a lot then. Donovan Peoples-Jones, he's a receiver for Cleveland.
He was not on that list. Oh, yeah, he is. Okay. 3 receptions, 76 yards, 25 average, no touchdowns. In that last game, right? So 76 yards, 3 catches. All right, so he's like the deep guy. He might have a big – he's a good player. He's from Michigan. He's a good guy. He's their only legitimate – When it comes to the Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger, 24 out of 46, 123 yards, 2.7 average, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and he was sacked twice. That's it. Yeah, he was sacked twice. Baker was sacked 9 times. That's kind of wild. You think that, like, with the pass rush that Cleveland has with Garrett, I mean, everybody says like Garrett's the best. And you know what? I got to call these guys out. In the fourth quarter, I expected the Jets to get not blown out, but I expected Joe Flacco to get killed in this game last week. The fourth quarter, expected Joe Flacco to get killed through the defense? No, because of Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney on both ends. So I mean, like, you've seen the Giants Super Bowls and they beat Tom Brady. It's get to him, get through get to him with 4. You have the 2 potential best ends, and they didn't touch Flacco in the entire fourth quarter. You couldn't even tell that they were even on the field. So it's again, week 2, but show me something here, man. If you're the best defensive player in the league, you're supposed to be. You're not touching Joe Flacco? Like, come on, man. They should have tried to tackle Joe Flacco. They really should have, but no, he couldn't get through it. And you give credit to the offensive line of the Jets. There's no Becton there anymore. So I mean, who's playing left tackle at this point? Is it George Fant? Kudos for blocking the best defensive end in the league. And you give Flacco time, look what happens. Boom. Yeah. Look like Tom Brady in the fourth quarter. Yeah. So anyway, the game from last year, Najee Harris, 28 carries, 188 yards, 1 touchdown. Deontay Johnson, from receiving, 8 receptions, 31 yards, 3.9 average, 1 touchdown. And
Najee
Harris. Yeah. And did you know this is going to be like the first time in 20 years that the Browns are going to be facing the Steelers without Ben Roethlisberger?
Isn't it kind of crazy that like
it is kind of crazy?
He was the last one from that, Rivers, Manning, Ben. I think that was it, right? There was only 3 of them.
Well, you still got Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean he's on the tail end too, and they won on Sunday night, but I mean they beat the Bears, so I don't. But Rodgers always has this too. It's always a slow start, and then they'll get it together. And week 6, he's the MVP, and it's the same stuff. It's
week 6, the MVP chance start.
Right, whatever. He's got a lot of young guys. He had that one drop that Watkins had in week 1. It's a bomb that obviously Devontae Adams catches. Again, it's week 1. It doesn't matter. They're going to win the division. So
a lot happens in week 1.
Yeah. Talk to me at the end of October. Let's see where these guys are at. That's really what it is.
We'll talk to you at the end of October to see where they're at.
No, I'm just saying like who's real and who's not. You'll know by then. If Green Bay goes out and loses 3 in a row, then you get some trouble. But Rodgers will figure it out. He's too good.
Yeah. Talking about tonight's game with the Pittsburgh quarterback situation, Mitch Trubisky. In week 1, he went 21 for 38, 194 yards, 5.1 average, 1 touchdown, was sacked once. Last week, he went 21 for 33, 168 yards, 5.1 average, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and was sacked 3 times. All right, Brian, you're a smart guy. I'm going to ask you a question.
Halftime.
What was that?
After halftime. I know what you're going to ask me.
Okay.
Say it though.
Do the Steelers keep Mitch Trubisky as QB, or is it time to start Pickett?
You ready? So here's a scenario for you.
Let's hear it.
Browns are up, let's say 17-3 at the half.
Okay.
Trubisky's doing nothing. He's not moving the ball, dinking and dunking, maybe a couple of first downs, but there's nothing really on offense. Crowds, they're in Cleveland, but at some point, do you go to Pickett at halftime? Now, I'm going to use this analogy, right? Do you remember when Baker Mayfield made his debut? Do you remember that game?
I do not.
Okay, so it was a Thursday night game against the Jets. It was Tyrod Taylor was the quarterback, and I don't think it was a blowout. I think Taylor may have gotten hurt. And then Baker came in at half and he won. It was the first time they won in like a year. They were 0-16 the year before because he got drafted. And then he came out the half. It was like week 3 or 4. It was a Thursday night game. Came in the half and won the game for the Jets. Won the game against the Jets. Lit them up in the second half. I think if they have nothing going on in this game, I really think you see Kenny Pickett at halftime in the second half.
Oh, I agree.
It doesn't matter if you lose. Who cares? You got to get this guy real reps, real game time play against, a good pass rush. Get him and see what he can do. You drafted him. Just give this guy the reins here, man. Let him try to light it up.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if my memory serves me right, Kenny Pickett was the first quarterback drafted I think the only one in the first round.
I think you're right. And he went, in the 20s? Is when they picked. I'm not sure, but
I think like 19 or 20.
Yeah, because there wasn't really a lot of good.
I thought Corral or Willis was going to go first.
Oh, when did what's his name go? Who was the guy that went to Atlanta? The Desmond Ridder.
Yeah, Ridder. Ritter went to Atlanta.
Did he go? He might have went in the second round though.
Yeah, he went in the second round. Pickett was the only quarterback picked in the first round. So
Pickett had a great year at Pitt last year. He went to college there. He played in the same stadium, the home at Heinz Field. It's a great pick by them. He's a South Jersey guy too, by the way. He is from the Jersey Shore. He's from Oakhurst. A lot of Jersey talent.
A lot of Jersey references tonight, huh?
Yeah. Hey, we're talking about him. Pittsburgh and Jersey well represented tonight.
Should we just randomly start blasting Bon Jovi to really make this Jersey themed? I would be opposed to that. I would so not be opposed.
little Springsteen.
Okay, Springsteen. But anyway, but to be honest, I would say start Pickett. Like, listen, Trubisky, and I've said this before, I was kind of hoping the Giants would get Trubisky for one reason.
Because insurance.
What was that?
Insurance.
Well, yes, but also because Trubisky had worked with Dable, and Trubisky could have served as like that mentoring role to Daniel Jones.
Now you don't care because Danny Boy is your guy now.
He's my guy right now. Ask me in a couple weeks, Brian. Ask me in like 4 weeks.
Until they lose 3 in a row, and then you're going to ship them right back out again like last year.
Yeah.
That's New York for you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're very picky. But anyway, I would say with Pickett, just start him. Like, he was a first-round pick. He was your only quarterback. You were picking him for something.
Mm-hmm.
You were picking him for something. At least you didn't do like what Seattle did when Wilson was gone, when you basically had your pulse on the finger of Malik Willis. You could have just picked him then. But
so Wilson won that job like in practice though. So here's the thing too, that maybe because we don't see it, right? It's he's playing in practice every day.
Yeah.
They're seeing something that we don't. So obviously, I mean, if he's lighting up practice, he's got to start. I mean, Tomlin's not stupid. Tomlin knows what he's doing. So maybe he's not adjusting yet, because also if he's practicing against the first team,
mm-hmm.
which he probably isn't, because Trubisky's a starter, so he's getting the first team reps. That means that Pickett's playing against the second team, and he might not be doing that well yet. So again, you can't rush these things. Pickett's not, hey, we got to win this year. They've made their peace when Ben walked or when he retired that, they're not winning the Super Bowl this year. But if you could mature Pickett, he'll play at some point this year. We all know that. It's still week 3. I mean, you know what you're getting with Trubisky. He's not going to go out there and start lighting the league up. I mean,
he's not going to go beat Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers.
No, I mean, he's Mitch Trubisky. He's a bridge quarterback. That's what he's here for. Help him learn, mentor him a little bit because he's been around the league for a while. But if Pickett was lighting up practice, he'd be in there right now. You know that. So maybe he's not. Maybe he's not ready yet.
Only time will tell, my friend. Only time will tell.
It's true. There's no rush. Again, they're not winning the Super Bowl anytime soon, the Steelers. Now that Watt's out too. I mean, that their season's, they're lucky to finish third in that division now. So
their season's pretty much a wash at this point.
Yeah, Baltimore and Cincinnati are much better than them in that division anyway. And then who is that? Houston? Who's in that division? Cleveland. Cleveland. So Cleveland and them will be battling for third and potentially the last wild card spot, if anything. No rush to rush Pickett for this.
No rush to rush Pickett.
No, I'd love to see him in tonight, but it's the long play for them. You can't ruin him, because if he gets in there and he gets killed, then his confidence is shot.
No, I'm going to disagree with you, Brian. I'd say you got him in the first round, pick him. Just get him. Just absolutely just get him.
But then what happens when he goes in and he gets sacked 6 times in a row and he can't complete a pass?
Fair point.
But then his confidence is shot too. Then he's done. It's like the Jets.
It's just baptism by fire.
Yeah, it's like it's a long play, man. That's it. You got Trubisky for a reason to bridge this guy, and if Trubisky gets hurt, then you don't have a choice. But I don't know, ride this guy out. Mr. Efficiency of throwing 3-yard passes every time he drops back. It's ridiculous.
Okay. My next question for you is which one of these two teams is most likely to make the playoffs?
Now?
Yeah, I will first with the Steelers. I will read you the schedule that they have. They got the Browns tonight. Next week, they got your Jets.
I know.
Following week, they got the Bills.
It's a loss.
The next week, they got Brady and company.
At Tampa or in Pittsburgh?
In Pittsburgh.
Is that a 4:25 game?
It's a 1:00.
All right. It's a loss for them.
Then you got then they're playing Tua and company in Miami.
I don't see them beating any of these guys. Maybe they beat the Jets, but I don't know. Zach Wilson's playing there, and I don't know what he's going to be. So if I had to pick right now, I would say if I put money on it, I would say Cleveland would get in before that.
And then week 8, they have the Eagles.
Eagles are great. Eagles are good. Hurts is good.
As a Giants fan, that hurts to say for me.
Yeah, but you watched him on Monday night. He looked good.
Oh, no.
And he's my fantasy quarterback, so I'm not saying that biasly. I legitimately watched him. He's a stud. Now, he plays reckless, so he might get hurt. But he's a top 3 MVP guy right now in this league.
Okay. And here's the Browns' next couple games. After tonight, they got Atlanta, which should be a W. Then they have the Chargers.
Who knows?
Then they got the Patriots, the Ravens, the Bengals, and the Dolphins.
You know, I can see them beating the Patriots. That's about it.
So who do you think has a better chance, Pittsburgh or Cleveland? Because I'm going to say Cleveland.
I'm going to say Cleveland too, but I mean, I don't think either of them are making the playoffs.
Now, I don't really think they are either. It's like Cleveland, I think, has an easier schedule, but
all those games you just said, I don't see them winning anything. Maybe they beat the Pats.
Never thought you'd say that, didn't you?
No, I mean, I always hoped for the day where I could, and now it's upon us. But, I mean, I don't see Cleveland beating any of the better teams in the league. I think Miami's better than them. I think they'll blow them out. I honestly, even for Pittsburgh, for me to say that the Jets are a toss-up because TJ Watt's out is sad because the Jets could beat them. The Jets beat Cincinnati last year. I think the Jets could beat Cincinnati this week too. I'm not saying they are, but I think they can. Wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, look what happened last week with how you guys beat Cleveland. Did you think that was going to happen?
No, I wasn't at that point. I wasn't even watching the game, so I tuned back in when they scored, and then I watched them get the onside kick, and I didn't think they were going to get it. And then when they did, I'm like, all right, they're going to win this game now. I knew because the defense is just, there's no pressure. Sit back and just let Flacco pick you apart.
Or you were flipping between that and the Giant game, or
I had Red Zone on too, so I was going back and forth. I had 2 TVs, so I had the Giant game on one, and then I had Red Zone on the other. But Red Zone kept showing the Jets, so I put the Jets on one of the other TVs, and I watched them do what they did. But it just, I don't know. Again, tonight's game doesn't get you. There's no juice.
Okay, so what do you think the X factor for both teams is tonight?
I mean, if you can keep Nick Chubb out of the end zone for Pittsburgh, I think you can win this game. But they have a good 1-2 punch, maybe the best in the league, running wise.
With Chubb, I think,
and Hunt.
Chubb, Hunt, a Cooper. I would say he's my sleeper wide receiver for that team. What do you think, Amari Cooper?
He scored last week.
Yeah. And he's also
Brissett's from that Belichick tree, man. He was behind Brady for a while, so he's a Patriot. He knows how to be efficient. You said before, he's 22 of 27 last week. I mean, that's great. They'll take that all day. I mean, it's not for 5 yards, but
I think a X factor for the Steelers is going to be Najee Harris.
I think I take him, and I'll say Mika Fitzpatrick. And I'm not just saying that because he's the Jersey guy, like I said, but he's been red hot lately. He's been playing like Troy Polamalu. Like, he's the safety. He's all over the field. He's making big plays left and right. I mean, Pittsburgh still has a good defense. They always do. It's just, they're minus Watt. But again, if you can get after the quarterback, you make him, throw some bad throws, put him in bad spots. Again, this game is not – I can really see it going either way.
And, I think Minka Fitzpatrick is going to be a big one. So, I think like he's – okay, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I think he's on other – because, I think – they're going to be put Najee Harris because he is that. I think he did get a touchdown last week. I got to look.
Well, think about it, right?
He didn't.
If you're Cleveland's defensive coordinator right now, right, and you're going against Mitch Trubisky and Najee Harris, who's the one guy that you want to stop out of that? You're going to stop Najee Harris. You're going to make Mitch Trubisky beat. You're going to make Mitch Trubisky beat you. So they're going to load up that box with 8 guys and pack it in so they can't run the ball. Make Mitch Trubisky pass. And who they got? Deontay Johnson, Firemouth is the tight end. I couldn't even tell you. They got George Pickens, who is a star, who was a first-round pick, who is a big receiver, physical guy. He should be a stud. Remember that name. Maybe at the end of this year, midway through this year, you'll hear that.
Deontay Johnson, or who was that?
No, George Pickens.
You think he's going to be a stud by the end of the game?
He's a big receiver that they drafted. I think he was a first-round pick. Very physical. He throws guys off the line. A big guy. But again, you're only as good as your quarterback's going to take you.
And when
so
you're the coordinator, Trubisky,
you stop the run, let Trubisky beat you at the pass all day. And I don't, we all know who Mitch Trubisky is now. So let's see. I mean, he made the playoffs once with Chicago. It seems like a lifetime ago, but
it does seem a while ago. Chicago actually made the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
No offense if we have any viewers in the great city of Chicago. You guys are wonderful.
They got to figure out what the hell they're doing, too. God.
Yeah. But anyway, okay, Brian, it is time for also another X factor. You got to see which quarterback's going to do better because, again, we're looking at two mediocre quarterbacks tonight.
Who gets the edge? Who do you think? Who's better?
I'm going to say Brissett.
I agree.
Because
you can't.
Chubb, Cooper, Johnson, I think he's got more weapons to go to. So I am going with Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, I stand behind that.
Brian, it is now time for rapid fire, aka 2-minute warning. So here's what's going to happen. We got 3 questions. You got to answer these in 2 minutes. So are you ready?
Go.
Okay. Question 1. Which 2-0 team do you think is the biggest surprise?
Miami.
I'm going to sound like a homer here. I'm going to say the Giants.
They're 2. They're number 2.
Yeah. Okay. Next one.
Soft schedule.
Which 0-2 team you think really needs to win this week?
Is New England 0-2?
No.
No, they won they beat Pittsburgh. I don't know actually. Who is actually 0-2?
I'll give you. Okay. 0-2.
Yeah, I got it in front of me. Let me see. Hold on one second. Let me run down real quick. Let's see who loser. Oh, Vegas, without a doubt.
Yeah, you got the Bengals, the Titans, the Raiders.
So the Bengals are 0-2. That's true. Super Bowl hangover. I think the Raiders, because the Raiders had all this hype. Devontae Adams.
No, I'm going to totally agree with you on that one.
I don't think Derek Carr is that good. I'm going to go on the record. I don't think he's that good.
I think they're going to need the biggest win this week because we always hear about how stacked the AFC West is.
Yeah.
You got Denver.
Denver, right. Denver, Kansas City, Chargers,
and Vegas. I think Vegas is going to need that win to hop in. But I'm also going to have to say maybe, even though they're not technically winless because they tie, but they are winless, I'm going to say the Colts. Because
poor Jonathan Taylor, right?
Yeah, because you keep hearing about, the Colts, they're going to win the AFC South. They're doing better than the Titans, but
nothing sinks an offense faster than Matt Ryan, an old Matt Ryan. So nothing can sink an offense faster than a decrepit older Matt Ryan. When you have the best running back in the league, and he's throwing the ball like 45 times like he did last week. And Pittman's good; they have good receivers, but he stinks. What a bad call by them.
Sunday game you were looking forward to the most besides your own team?
Monday Night Football's got a lot of juice, man.
Giants, Cowboys.
It's Daniel Jones versus Cooper Rush. I get it, but Giants are 2-0. They're home. Besides that, I think Green Bay at Tampa has got a little juice. Tom and Aaron. That should be fun. Mike Evans is suspended. The NFL didn't hold up his. He lost his appeal, so he's out for that game. So Tom's got a depleted receiver core. at home against Green Bay, and Aaron Rodgers, I guess, is still learning his receivers too. So besides Monday Night Football, I'll go with Green Bay and Tampa.
Yeah, my two besides Monday Night Football, Green Bay and Tampa. That's a good one. Brady versus Rodgers. But I think my other one, and this is coming off from what we saw last week, I'm gonna say Arizona and Los Angeles.
That's a good one. Yeah, I mean, what's his name? I feel like what's his name still running around? Kyler Murray. He's out of control, huh? And there's one game, honestly, we didn't even say it. And I'm looking at the slate right now. 2-0 Buffalo going to Miami to play the Dolphins.
Oh, you know what? I think that's going to be my game. That's going to be my game. Buffalo, Miami.
That would be the game of the week.
That should be the game of the week. You know what? I rescind what I said. Buffalo, Miami.
I kind of take it back too, man.
We got to take both of those back up. Buffalo, Miami.
That's kind of exciting,
Miami.
Man.
That's going to be a great game.
There's some good games this week, man. That's good. And for the bettors out there, Buffalo is not a touchdown favorite. They're 5.5.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So real quick, right now, do you think? I know it's week 2, so we'll do the sports talking heads thing. Who is your Super Bowl matchup right now?
Oh. Good question. I'm going to say I'm just randomly pulling something out of my you-know-what right now, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say Buffalo and Tampa. What do you think?
So Buffalo beats Kansas City in the AFC Championship game?
That could happen.
Little revenge. I was literally going to say the same thing, but for argument's sake, I will go Buffalo, Philly.
Ooh, that's an interesting pick.
Buffalo wins the Super Bowl.
I would not be opposed to that. And shout out to Nate Moser. I think you're going to like my cousin now because even though he's a Jet fan, he picked Buffalo. So shout out to you, buddy.
You can't deny who Josh Allen is.
You cannot deny Josh Allen.
Barring an injury, knock on wood, he is the best player in this league, and it's not even debatable. And Mahomes is a stud. Jackson's a stud. He's the best player in this league. He's the MVP this year.
Yeah. You don't think Tom Brady's go back to the Super Bowl?
I've had enough of him and his leather face. Enough.
He's too busy fighting with Giselle on the iPad.
Well, yeah, whatever's going on in his personal life, that's.
But the iPad, come on, the iPad.
But he looks like he's like a fake face.
He kind of does.
He's 45. It looks like he's 20. He looks like he's 25. But he's got that you can't move his face because all the Botox he's had now.
Okay, last question. What's your prediction for tonight?
I'll go Cleveland. Cleveland wins 27-14.
Well, that's a higher score than I was thinking. I'm going to say Cleveland wins 17-10.
Yeah, I think 27 is too much. Can I rescind that? I'm gonna go 21-10.
Point rescinded.
Nick Chubb scores twice tonight.
Rescinded. Okay, so that is the show for tonight. Brian, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me on.
Hey, no problem. Hope you can come back soon.
Anytime.
Yeah, so if you like what you see here, and why wouldn't you? Because its content's amazing. Go to www.thesportsinsanitynetwork.com. Check out it. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Follow us here on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. And yeah, so thank you for joining us. Enjoy the game. And don't forget to tune in Sunday morning for Sunday Sideline Report. And until then, I'm Bill Murphy. I will see you next week. Stay safe and take care. And in the immortal words of my dear friend Mike Rifkin,